I'm William Kumwembe with Business Time on Times Television. It is a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country. And in the program today, mixed feelings among exhibitors at the trade fair. FMB Capital Holdings reveal plans to expand to Mauritius and other parts. We have these and other stories. Stay tuned if you could. Hello and welcome. There were diverse opinions at the beginning of this year's trade fair in Blantyre. Launch of the event Thursday morning was without pomp and flair. Traditionally, the event is graced by the state president, but President Peter Mutharika was not there. Not many patrons visited the grounds during the opening. Chimwemwe Mangaz was there and now reports.
The 2019 International Trade Fair has started on a low. For starters, the opening of this event is characterized by a political fanfare where government officials would come, especially the president of the country, would come to open the International Trade Fair. But this morning, it was only MCCCI Chief Executive Officer Chancellor Kafera Banjira who only gave a speech to some of the exhibitors and government officials that have come here. So there was no political fanfare whatsoever to mark the opening of this year's International Trade Fair. And from what they're telling us, the participation has as well been affected because 187 participants are participating in this fair from a figure of over 220 last year. And again, international participants last year were about 11, and this year we are told that there are only 3 participants that are taking place from the international community. So it really has started on a low, but all the same, there are, as you can see in the background, there are exhibitors that are putting up the pavilions. Some have already put up, and in total there are 187. And this is what Chancellor Kafera Banjira, the Chief Executive Officer of MCCCI, had to say on such an opening of the event.
Well, I think in the current circumstances, business still has to go on, because I think we all have to maintain our jobs, including you and me, and people are always looking for products that are being produced. We are looking for services. So yes, I think let us acknowledge that we are living in some politically turbulent times, starting before and even after the May 21 general elections. And I think this is the reason we had to postpone the start of the fair from June 20th to August. And you also recall that we were supposed to start on the 6th of August. But of course, the new developments made it necessary for us to make adjustments. So yes, the political environment, which also affects businesses, because businesses are run by human beings who are emotional. So they also respond to what is happening around. So I would say political environment is tense, but despite that, I think as businesses we have to go on. Yeah, and this is why we had to actually start the International Trade Fair today. Obviously, the events that have followed the holding of the elections, maybe even before the elections themselves, because as you are aware, we started mobilizing participants before even the elections. So even some of the participants were hesitant before the elections. And then even after the elections, there was still this hesitation. And as I said, that's what led to our postponement of the opening maybe twice. So the impact on the participation, has been marked. Last year we had 224 participants, and this year we have 187. And we are very grateful that at least those 187 companies, have braved the prevailing circumstances, because we still think that that is a large enough number to actually allow us to proceed with the holding of the fair. So yes, I think the actual impact has been the reduced participation of numbers, but we think that this is a one-off thing, especially because this year is unique. The patrons will still be coming. some of the companies that may not necessarily be represented here will still be visiting the stands. Even if people from outside the countries, because this is from our experience, will still come and see what is on offer here and try to establish business relationships with those that are exhibiting. So we believe that those that have made it here will still benefit and will not necessarily be impacted by the fact that we are living in a unique circumstances. Our role, as you are aware, as a chamber, is to make sure that we facilitate business linkages. We make sure that the companies that are exhibiting here find markets for their products. They get knowledge from the fellow companies that are exhibiting here, and that basically they grow and create the necessary jobs that this country needs. So I think we have had some quarters, for example, asking us to postpone this fair maybe until next year. We didn't think that was the right thing, because we have to continue making a contribution. We have to continue making a contribution to this country through giving the participants opportunities to actually get new markets by interacting with the other companies that are participating here and by exhibiting their products. By doing that, we think that the companies will continue to exist, or they will expand and then create a little more jobs that we in Malawi need.
And now we would like to engage some of the participants in this trade fair to see what their expectations are as they are showing their products. And I'm at this pavilion. Thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
Remind us your name.
My name is Edward Malunga, and I'm CEO for Bantu Art and Crafts Company Limited.
What are your expectations as you participate in this year's exhibition?
Yeah, well, our expectations are very high. We're expecting that we are going to have as many customers as possible, because the previous year the fair was not that very good, but at least we managed to actually get new customers, new markets. And this year, though the situation is not that good, but we're expecting that we are going to have extra markets. Yes.
Speaking to some of the exhibitors, they seem not to share that optimism that you're expressing here.
Well, I'm an entrepreneur, and I know where I'm coming from as a business person. And the direction as to where we are going, we are supposed to envisage. And each and every step that we go through, or the steps that we go in, we are always supposed to have that optimistic approach, look at them with an optimistic eye, because when we are doing business, you are always supposed to be expecting good things. Yes, we know when you are doing business, you sometimes meet some other areas or some other periods which are very mean, but expectation for each and every entrepreneur is to do business. So I am expecting that our company is going to have a very good business.
Tell us a little bit about the products that you're showing.
Yeah, well, we have footwear, we have shoes, we have got sandals, shoes for ladies, shoes for men, and we've got shoes for back to school. Those that are in school, like in primary, in secondary, we have got very good shoes here in different designs.
And we're with another exhibitor here. In the first place, tell us, what are your expectations?
Honestly, my expectations were high. I thought maybe this thing is going to be something else, that maybe we'll get it's going to be fruitful, but the way you can see it is a total mess. There's no one who is coming inside. We can just say things are not okay. Because earlier on, we tried to contact the chamber guys. We told them if they could shift this thing to a later date, up until the country is at the normal state. But I don't know why they had to rush. They just called us, trade fair is on. Okay, as usual, we had to come. But this is a total mess. As you can see, there's no one, completely nobody inside. We're even failing to complete displaying our pavilions, as you can see. We can't display. There are so many things that we have to display. The people are so lazy to display. You see, it's a total mess. I don't know what to call it, but honestly, this is not what you call trade fair. By now, it could have been fully packed. There could have people buying, or maybe just viewing whatever we have, but there's no one who is coming inside. It's a total mess.
How many visitors have come to your pavilion?
Nobody. Since morning, this is almost lunchtime, but there's nobody who has come here, as you can see. I don't know what we'll come out with. Let's just wait what God has installed for us. But honestly, there's nothing here.
how best could we go about that problem?
Maybe they should try to advertise it. If they can advertise it fully, or leave the gates open for anybody to come in free, maybe it will bring out something. But as you can see, things are not okay.
And we're with another exhibitor here. In the first place, tell us what are your expectations as a participant?
What we're expecting is we're expecting more people to come. So far we have seen people coming, but they're coming in large numbers, but we expect more because this is just the first day. Yes, and we expect them to come and view our products.
Some of the exhibitors are complaining that the numbers they are seeing is not what they used to see in previous trade fairs.
Yes, that's some kind of true, because there were some fracases in the country. So I think that might have contributed to this, but I wouldn't talk more about that. But actually, that's what I'm thinking, because not a lot of people may come if they hear some kind of issues happening. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Tell us about the items that you're showing here.
Okay. We are Associate Electrical Limited. We deal with cash counting machines, which are in short, we deal with cash handling solutions as well as electronic devices as well as manufacturing. So the products we have come with today are cash counting machines, UV counterfeit detectors, car alarms. We do install also, as well as we do install industrial alarm systems, biometrics, ATM machines. And the other side, what we're doing is we're training individuals to manufacture products. That is whether you're doing nursing, accounting, we're teaching them how to come up with a product, starting from the basic components to fabrication, so that you can come up with a product and sell.
Is this a new company, Associate Electric?
No, Associate Electric is not a new company. It has been a biggest player in, as far as cash counting machines are involved. So we have been here since 2001, yeah, which is quite a long time. Yes. So, but we have a new department, which is the electronics department. That's why you are hearing about it, because we'll be doing manufacturing products here in Malawi.
You'll be manufacturing products. Electrical gadgets in Malawi?
Electronics gadgets. Yeah, starting from very, very small products, from audio amplifiers, communication devices, and all sorts of electronic components. Electronics is so wide, you can't exhaust. Yeah.
Well, we'll find time to talk about that.
Yeah, many
Thank you
thanks.
very much for talking to us.
You're welcome.
And this trade fair is expected to run for about some 8-9 days, because it has started today on the 8th, and it will be coming to an end on the 15th. And from the exhibitors that we've talked to, there is some sort of mixed feelings as to how much they're going to benefit from their participation in this fair because of the political situation, and how the visitors or those people that would come to appreciate the products they are showing are trekking to this place. But all the same, the Malawi Confederation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry are very optimistic that it will turn out good as any other year, and they expect that some of the exhibitors that did commit that they will participate but are not yet here will come to this place and showcase their products.
FNB Capital Holdings has revealed plans to expand its footprints to Mauritius and other parts of the region as part of its investment drive. This came out during its annual general meeting held earlier this week in Blantyre. The company's chairperson, Terence Davidson, says they are exploring a number of countries for possible investment.
One of the benefits of having a business in multiple countries is that you are able to ride the ups and downs of the individual countries. If you have a business that is just based in one country, when there are economic challenges, then obviously that business gets affected. Excuse me. The broader the number, the more countries you operate in, the more likely it is that you can offset some of the, there'll be one country that is doing well when another country is not doing as well. Coming to your question, we're seeing good growth in our Botswana business, very good growth. We've been in Botswana now for many years. Botswana has been a challenge, but we're seeing a lot of positive growth. Zambia, again, despite many economic challenges in Zambia, we're seeing good growth in Zambia. Mozambique, if I look at Mozambique, Mozambique was a challenge for us the year before last. Last year we made some changes, and we're now seeing Mozambique coming into a profit. Mozambique has got some incredible long-term opportunities with all of the LNG gas, the gas exploration taking place in the northern part of the country. So again, for us, it's a question of how do you build a profitable and sustainable regional business. Now, we've obviously had difficulties in Zimbabwe because of the situation there. We have suffered some contraction in our profits in Malawi, but that has been offset to some extent by a better performance in the other countries. I think in the medium term, we do want to continue to expand our footprint. I don't think we would ever have any intention of going into South Africa, but I think that we do look at opportunities in other countries around the region, possibly even Mauritius. So we're always looking for opportunities to expand the footprint. But again, it's a question of how do you synchronize, or how do you expand in an intelligent way? You don't want to run out of control, you don't want to lose control of your business as you go through expansion. So a lot has happened in the last year. We've had an awful lot happening with the shift into Mauritius, with the creation of the shared service, with the acquisition of Zimbabwe. So I think at the moment the strategy is very much stabilize the business, make the existing businesses more profitable by focusing on getting more business, managing the expense base, etc., and then look to go further afield with expanding your footprint in the region. We want to dual list. But dual listing is also an expensive process. If you dual list, you have to meet all of the regulatory requirements of that stock exchange. It's expensive. And so we will only dual list when we need to raise capital. The primary reason for a dual listing is to give us the ability to access a different group of investors. So the dual listing is still very much something that we have in our strategic plan, but in terms of timing, it's going to be dictated more by need. When do we need to raise additional capital?
You touched on the focus currently being stabilizing the performance of the bank, but minority shareholders raised issues to do with them getting dividends, and as well that reflecting on the share prices on the market. What say you on that?
Again, I think you need to recognize that this bank has expanded very rapidly over the last few years. In the past, FNB was primarily driven by FNB's Malawi business. That was the business that was providing the capital or providing the profits that were then being dividended out. We're creating a much bigger business today, and we're in that growth phase. And normally when you're in a growth phase, you would rather plow your profits back into growing the business to make the cake larger, so that the investor will get a capital gain through his investment. So I think that dividends will come. I don't think it's prudent for us to start dividending out our profits at this stage of our development, given the many investments that we still need to make. What you don't want to do is dividend out your profits and then have to go to the market soon after that to raise more equity, because all that's going to do is dilute the shareholder. So he may get a dividend, but on the other side, he suddenly finds that his shareholding is worth less.
Remember, this is Business Time right here on Times Television, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country and beyond. We'll be right back. Welcome back. FDH Bank has touted impact of its Be the One promotion, which ends this month, saying it is influencing growth in uptake of its digital services and products. FDH Senior Manager for Digital Banking, Yamikani Mbawala, says through the promotion, the bank is also contributing towards attaining the National Financial Inclusion Drive goal. He explains in this interview.
It's been a good response from the time that we launched it in May to now. We've had an overwhelming response. The best response is the people that are winning are people that you don't expect. They also don't expect to win, and I think that's the beauty of this. If you can see from the customer that we just called now, they were oblivious to the fact that they had an account which they obviously kept money. So that's the beauty of this competition. So we're happy with the progress. You see, when you're opening a full digital account, usually you are telling people to open their account, and some people do not believe that it's an account that they're opening. So this just gives someone more confidence to say they have actually a bank account. It's simply because your phone number is your bank account. So when you tell people your phone number is your bank account, they sort of doubt. But when you can win 500,000 kwacha, it builds confidence into the product and also confidence to the customer that what they have is really an authentic bank account. Oh, it's been overwhelming because we are following what the Reserve Bank calls financial inclusion, which has been their motto for this year. So what we're doing, we are taking bank to the unbanked masses. So as you recall, this gentleman says he doesn't have an account, but he does have an account, which is his phone. So as far as reaching the unbanked market and the rural markets and just getting them financially included, it's been an overwhelming response, and we're obviously happy with that. Transact, keep more money. So all you have to do is keep 20,000 kwacha in your account, in a savings account. In your full digital account, keep 20,000 kwacha. If you already have an account with FDH, then just transact. Pay bills, pay water bills, buy ESCOM bills, transfer money to other people, pay for DSTV. Just make sure that account is transacting on a digital platform. You stand so many chances of winning the 2 million kwacha.
Now, in other business news, Nico Technologies, a subsidiary of Nico General, on Wednesday presented a check worth 2 million kwacha to ICT Association of Malawi, ICTAM, to be used during the ICT Expo. Sharon Chira witnessed the handover ceremony and now reports.
Nico Technologies Chief Executive Officer Clarence Gama said the company has a role to play in developing the ICT sector.
The key importance here is for us as an organization to be able to contribute to the nation in terms of this great workshop that ICTAM has organized. It's going to enable us to stand out and to make ourselves visible, to make our products visible.
Gama added that ICT companies benefit more by working together.
It has to be a shared kind of platform that we're working with here. The role that ICTAM plays basically just connects all these IT companies to be able to show greater value to all the stakeholders out there. So we need all IT companies, as many as we can get on this platform, so that actually we should also be able to gauge the kind of services, the variety of services that are available for consumption. I think us standing there with one of our software solutions, without someone standing there along with us or maybe next to us with an IT hardware solution, it wouldn't make sense. So there has to be as many solutions as we can get from as many IT service providers as possible.
ICTAM Treasury General Tuntufian Taukira expressed gratitude to Nico Technologies and said the expo will be beneficial.
It is supporting the event because we are trying to bring ICT companies, local and international, and including the government as well. So their donation is a great contribution to this.
Taukira said the theme, ICT as a catalyst for economic growth, will help Malawi as a whole. She added that all ICT businesses and individuals are to register with ICTAM in order to be part of the ICT Expo set for the 22nd to 23rd of August 2019 at the Bingo International Convention Center.
Well, with that story, we've also come to the end of today's edition of the program Business Time, right here on Times Television, a magazine program where we bring you major business and economic news stories making headlines in the country and beyond. On behalf of the entire production team here at Times, my name is William Kumwembe. But always remember, if it doesn't make money, well, it doesn't make sense.